The bullet hadn't killed me, not the one in my spine. It was the message that did it. A sterile beep echoed beside my bed as I opened the text. Her name lit the screen. No emojis, no heart. The doctor said you might not walk again. I didn't sign up for this. I'm taking the kids and the house. No punctuation at the end, just an ending. I stared at it too long, not because I was surprised, because I wasn't. The nurse asked if I was in pain. I said no. Pain is something you feel when you still have hope. I didn't. So I typed 2 words with hands that didn't shake. As you wish. And then I made a single call. 1 contact. Top of my list. A voice that hadn't changed since the desert. I said, "Execute Protocol Echo." He didn't ask why. It started 3 months before the deployment. A coldness in her hands. A delay in her kiss. I blamed the distance, the training, the countdown to another goodbye. She cried when I left. But her tears stopped the moment the plane lifted off. I knew that later, because love doesn't vanish overnight. It rots, quietly. The first clue wasn't the message, it was the lack of one. No calls during the surgery. No video chats with the kids. I told myself she was scared, overwhelmed, human. But I wasn't human anymore. Not since Fallujah. Not since my squad died screaming my name under fire. I survived. I should have died with them. Instead, I came home and found my life repurposed, like a house with the locks changed. I stayed silent, observing from a bed I couldn't leave. She didn't know I had access to the cameras, the doorbell app, the bank logs. I watched a man park in my driveway, same time, every Friday. I noted the way she smiled, not politely, intimately. She wore the dress I bought her, used the wine glasses from our wedding registry. Our youngest called him Uncle Nate. His hand lingered on her waist too long. I didn't scream, didn't cry. I cataloged. The nurse thought I was sleeping, but I was memorizing dates, names, faces. I requested a private investigator, gave him 3 photos, and a name, Nathan Blackwell. He said, "That's your old squad mate." I nodded once. I know. The pieces fell like dominoes, one betrayal at a time. The dossier landed on my lap in a plain folder, 73 pages, receipts, hotel timestamps, paternity doubts. It was my daughter's birth certificate that hit hardest. The date didn't line up. She was born 6 months after I deployed, not 9. My hand didn't tremble as I flipped through the proof. I already knew. I had known since I saw her eyes. Too blue. I asked my nurse to bring me a pen. I wrote a note, 2 lines. Then asked for courier service, same-day delivery. She received it during dinner. A knock at the door. A man in uniform. A man with a familiar voice. She opened the envelope and read, "You were always sloppy with details. Check page 29. The screaming began 12 minutes later. I counted. 24 hours later, my phone buzzed. 32 missed calls, 12 voicemails. The last text came in capital letters. "Why is the army packing up my house? What did you do?" I stared at the screen like it was someone else's life. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened the live feed. 2 military trucks, 3 men boxing up furniture. My name still on the deed. She came outside, wild-eyed, wearing the hoodie I bled on before deployment. A sergeant handed her a letter, stamped with a seal. My signature at the bottom. Transfer of assets. Reversal of power of attorney. Eviction order. Signed the day after surgery. Executed exactly 1 hour after her message. She looked around, panicked. Nate wasn't there. He had received a separate envelope. Inside, photographs of him and his commanding officer's wife. I played chess. They played checkers. The rehab room is quiet. I press my palms into the bars, lift my weight slowly. Pain blooms, but I welcome it. I walk 3 steps, 3 more than she expected. The therapist cheers. I don't smile. Progress is a funny thing. It looks like movement, but sometimes it's just removal of dead weight, of false love, of lies. I don't want her back. I want her to remember the silence. That moment when the walls closed in, when her fake world collapsed brick by brick, all while I sat quietly, watching. She thought I was broken, but I was simply rebuilding. And the next time someone says, I didn't sign up for this, I'll say nothing. Because I don't recruit liars, I discharge them. Permanently. Moral of the story? Betrayal doesn't end the war. It starts the reckoning.